Oh, hello. I hope you're all doing all right. You can call me Comedian CP because I am on CP time, 5 minutes late. But I am pulling up the show. I made a little barbecue before the show. I hope you are all doing wonderfully well. Again, we are watching Seeking Brother Husband. It looks like the first couple with Kenya and Carl and Tiger are shopping for a home. Private space, a space to do I love thing. Her. She's gonna have another partner over or other Here's her realtor. Over, so she's gonna need space for other entertainment. Here's Kenya. I love her. Needs extra space. Here's Carl. For whatever that you're doing.
Yes, bigger and much more glamorous.
You need.
She's adorable.
Awesome. Okay, so I guess this is Tiger's room.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't like that she busts out laughing. They said put Tiger in the baby room.
It is probably.
That should be the guest room.
I'll stand here. I'll stand with them like this so you can come in. This is a kid's room. We've raised our
I know
kids.
From the intro.
Yeah, I think we're looking for
or from the forward episode anyway.
Right.
From the forwarded episode before this, the first blah blah blah, the first episode when they say, "Oh, here's coming up." They introduce themselves as a throuple. Like she's like, "Hi, these are my two husbands, and we're looking to buy a house." And the realtor was just like, "Oh, okay."
So yeah,
here's
we
one.
Need to move pretty soon. I really would like to transition that. Within
but I really
the next
love
3
her.
months. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the key is finding.
Regardless of whatever
space.
happens,
Yes.
I think she's gonna stay my favorite.
We can make work,
Right.
and all of us have to be comfortable at the end of the day.
Are you comfortable with?
I hope you all have your
immediate
snacks.
Move?
I mean, 3
Because
months.
I surely have
that's
mine.
Really kind of soon, isn't it? 3 months is unrealistic.
I
I'm
barbecued
still
some
in the process of
hot
trying to get our
dogs
ceremony put together
and
to put a move on top of a ceremony.
chicken burger.
And try to make all of those adjustments work. I don't see that as realistic or working out at all. What
Tiger is still not here for this transition.
Is we are in the middle of
I get it though.
wanting to go through
Dino
a wedding.
Nuggy.
I'm planning it, and I feel like we just all of a sudden are house shopping. We're just
But yeah, I get it.
in the middle of that. I mean, that's really a difficult situation. Carl and Kenya have had the benefit of being legally married for over 26 years.
He doesn't want to
matter
get pushed
what
out of his
particular
position.
thing
He's
they
not
get
ready for
together,
change yet.
That's exactly what I want for Kenya and myself, especially now that Kenya is looking to bring in other partners. It's more important now than ever that we have this union and we show that we are together forever.
I like how in these little clips. Hi, princess. Hey, girl. Hey. I like how in these clips that Tiger is talking about being still here for it. He's not abandoning the relationship. He's enthusiastic for things to go forward. He's just been a little bit hesitant because he's new here.
I see an empty space. Nobody's there.
I feel like this is really selfish to care who's at the wedding. The wedding is supposed to be about you and I, about our connection.
Carl's idea of what
It's
a wedding's purpose is for is interesting. Weddings are usually to bring a family together, two sides of the family, so I totally agree with her point of view.
Parents aren't there. That doesn't mean that our union
Him
is broken.
feeling like
We're still
the
dating, even if my parents weren't there.
lack of his
We
parents
would
coming is a
still
little
be
bit
together, even if my parents didn't approve.
disheartening when it comes to having a wedding.
It's almost as if you don't even want to proceed with this.
But he wants the ceremony just because he wants to feel like their relationship is solidified the same way it is with Kenya and Carl. So I get it. All right, they're moving over to Elisa and Mike out in Cali.
Look at you. Doing great.
Thanks.
So, who are you
Their
going with?
relationship, like I said last week,
His name is
their
Isaac.
relationship is the one I am concerned about.
Yeah, how'd you meet this guy?
On the dating app.
Ooh, they're talking about a
So,
guy
you
she
know you're
found
married?
already.
Yeah, it's on my profile.
Okay.
Curly
You
fries.
made that loud and clear.
I feel weird.
Yeah.
So Princess
Yeah,
says
it's
I
like
feel
the
weird
first thing on
about
my profile.
Okay. Yeah, I
doing
saw
a
that
poly
watching
wedding.
them. Just
I can dig
on the
it.
same page.
Yeah.
So
I
what
would
do you
feel
like
weird
about
if I
this
was somebody's
Isaac fellow?
parent.
This Isaac fellow.
Just because it's so
like,
non-traditional, it's not
like that's how he makes
quote
a
unquote
living, is like
normal.
through his painting. So, you
But I
know,
think I'd be
he's
okay
like,
with it as a
seems
person
like
getting
he's
married, because then I have
opposite
another
you.
spouse. That's pretty sweet.
I'm a little concerned about her going out. Not a crazy
Chicken
amount,
burger.
but I do know that feelings of jealousy and insecurity will definitely get triggered when she goes out and dates.
Get one.
Hi.
Get a burger too.
Good. You must be Isaac.
I am. You must be Lisa.
Yes, I am.
I made so many. I wish you were here. You can eat some. I was gonna say I'll send you one, but it's not gonna get there for like 2 days.
Also, I thought you were gonna ask me for wine.
Okay, Isaac is cute.
I don't think they have one.
You never know.
I'm a little nervous, but excited.
They look like the
it's
same
also
kind of
fun
geek.
Just to like meet new people.
All right, cheers.
She smelled her beer before she
What?
drank it. I do the same thing.
You've never smelled your beer?
I guess
I
not.
do the
Right
same
before the
thing.
shutdown, I was training for a new job at a brewery, and so we were.
He reminds me of someone from
learning all about the
Degrassi.
different
Yes,
flavor notes of beer,
he's kind of
how to
like
make.
Craig. Kind of like Craig, the one that had the nosebleed from doing all that cocaine.
She's a sweet girl, nicely dressed, love her hair, love her vibe. What do you seek in a partner?
That's a tough one. I'm not looking for a physical type, but I'm looking for like a personality type.
Like what?
Definitely someone who is
Here's my cool mug.
open-minded.
Okay.
Someone who really likes to.
I wonder
have
if you were
fun,
if
but
you were
is
thinking
also,
of Craig,
really
or if you were
self-aware.
thinking of somebody
Stop
else.
describing me. Be honest.
He's an artist. He's a painter. He seems spontaneous.
Craig was the
and
one that
free,
dated Manny
and
Santos
life
for a
is
little
not like
bit.
that. And so that is definitely one of the things that I'm looking for.
Back when she was doing like the wearing a thong whale tail kind of thing.
It's difficult dealing with the jealousy and insecurity, but at the end of the day, like I still am happy for her, and you know this is what we're both trying to pursue. So for me to like not want her to find love and
I love that he's
feel
happy for
joy,
her.
that would be selfish
In the
and
limerence
controlling.
kind
I
of
feel like
way.
there'd be insecurity there
He's really
driving that.
sweet.
So at the end of the day, like I'm happy for her.
Princess
living out
says
this
Isaac's
lifestyle
hair
that we
annoys
both
her,
chosen together.
and she does not know why. I can dig it.
What's the most ridiculous job?
I think it's because his bun is just so
I mean,
like
I used to walk
perfected and
dogs.
spiraled
Had
out.
I known, I would have hit you up to walk my dog.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what about you? Your most ridiculous job?
I honestly, I was never able to have a boss, but that's why I do art full time now.
Yeah.
I live off.
So again, YouTube is
Wait,
like
so what do you do now?
deciding whether or not it wants to block the stream because of the
Oh,
sound
that's
from the
awesome.
show.
Yeah, doodling.
So I can't
feel
flip my
I get
camera.
inspired by
But
Yeah,
you know what I
totally.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like the best.
Isaac has this
inspiration
double
for me.
like
Mhm.
So a
earring
lot of
thing
my work
going.
is inspired.
That's not something I'm a fan of.
Sex.
But a lot of people do
Yeah.
like double earrings.
I feel like sex is part of me.
This is all right. This day will be
Like, it would
over.
very difficult
Isaac
for me
bringing
to
up
be in a
all this
relationship and it just
sexual
strictly
stuff
mental and emotional
while they're on a
without
normal date. So
physical.
first of all,
Like my love language is touch.
before I start yelling at the screen, first of all,
Anyway,
I
So how many
hate the way
people
society
you
has
see?
gone where they're just like, oh,
Right now, I'm not seeing
dating
anybody else
means
other
we're
than
about
my
to be
husband.
hooking
are you
up.
just
No, it's
dating?
not.
You haven't been
Dating
with
is not
anyone within-
anything to
Not
do with
really.
banging.
It's an
Absolutely not.
interesting thing. She's obviously
So Isaac bringing that up
looking for
right there
something
at the
that her
brewery,
husband cannot provide mentally,
as if
emotionally,
they
and
were
I
like
respect that. So I'm curious to ask her some
setting up
questions
like
and
a
see her perspective on being married.
CUCK kind of thing.
Is
I'm
sex
not here
part of
for
the
it.
factor in seeking other partners?
Isaac
Yes and
needs
no,
to stop.
but it's not the main reason.
Princess
Ideally,
says I'm one
what
of the
I'm
few
looking for
folks
is,
that
like,
feels this
another
way about dating nowadays.
You know?
Well,
Yeah. All right.
oh
So-
well,
so
too
you went
bad.
away
I need y'all to revert because y'all nasty.
That's
You wonder why places like
Yeah,
Philadelphia has
Rolodex.
rampant HIV and everybody doesn't even know they
Legally,
have
it's
it because they're
interesting.
being lazy
Both
about
of us
checking
being
because they're a bunch of
creative and
hoes.
both of us having an active
Goodbye.
dating life.
I'm so not here
It's-
for
you
it.
know, my dating life is a
People need to
little
start
more
honoring
with the
themselves
flow
again like they
opposed
used
to her,
to.
where she's
Both
looking for something
women
very
and
specific.
men,
But
primarily
I'm curious to
men,
see where it leads
who
to.
love not caring
Let me
a,
ask you a
a
question.
flying
Have you
heck
ever been
about
in an
themselves when it comes to this kind of thing. Dudes have this problem where they're like, oh,
Waiter, can I get another drink?
I don't have to be a virgin. I don't
Would
have
you
to
be
stay
interested in, like,
chaste.
doing something with your
Because
husband involved?
men are expected to be dogs.
I know,
Men
he
are
would
not
not
expected to be
want to.
nasty.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I'm not. I'm
No.
not in for that.
You made that up in
Isaac
your own
talks
head.
a lot about sex.
I'm
which
sorry
is
if your
fine.
parents
There's no
didn't train you
judgments there,
right, but
that's
look,
just not what I'm looking for.
I'm here to tell you right now.
Have you ever dated
Keep your
someone
pants
who
on,
already
sir.
has another partner?
I've never dated someone who had another partner, but I've definitely had sex with women who had partners.
Yes,
Yeah.
Princess says, or get the new
I
PrEP
feel like
injection.
it's easy
Mhm.
to talk
At
to
least
him,
do the bare minimum,
but
Jesus Christ.
I am looking for like a more serious relationship.
I'm always
and
wondering.
I don't.
I haven't
feel
had the
like
chance to
Isaac
really
is
look
looking for this
into
either. Did those women
HIV, antivirals, and
did their
suppressant
partners know
medications.
that they were
I
sleeping
do
with
really
other
wonder
I think a couple
if
of them do,
medications
'cause, you know,
that
some
make you
couples just like to spice
undetectable,
things up.
Right. Okay. So you've just been the
even
other
if you're
guy.
undetectable, like, are you still going to
pretty
be
much. I am the other guy.
like
I
at the
have to, like,
mercy of the
sift
infection
through
to where you
some
can pass it on
not
to
so
people
great
and not
stuff
know, and
before I find
they don't know
someone who
either
I
because the
really
level that's
connect
passed on
with.
is just
But it's
undetectable
worth
for
it to
them
me.
too.
What's
I would love to
next
hear anything
is
about
dating
that.
more and really just like looking for another partner.
So I
My
think
name is
this guy
Shara.
Isaac
This
was
is my husband,
probably somebody from one of the
Patrick.
just general
This is
polyamorous
Double,
circles
the
who's
other
like,
man in
oh,
my life.
or like just from the general
Things really started to get
KINK
awkward
kind of
when I heard
places
some
where he's
noise
just
in the
like, okay, I
basement,
can
a
bang
little
some lady
moaning, a little
that has a
groaning.
husband,
I
but
was like, wait a minute.
not really thinking
Just got
about
real.
being in a real
She was
relationship.
like,
That's new.
"Oh, okay, like
So
you
that's
want to have sex with
interesting.
people," and I was like,
Yeah.
"No," but that could happen.
Mm,
Mike's just not
Mm-mm.
fully
I don't
getting
like
what
this
I'm trying to say
little
right
clip
now.
about what's going to happen after the break with Eliza and Mike. I don't like the way she talks to him
At Domino's,
about
we're
this
tipping you
situation.
$3 for ordering carryout online.
Princess says you should still tell
Because
someone you
we
have HIV
appreciate
though. Yeah, I
those
agree.
heroes who rise.
Even if you have it
Oh,
under
yes.
control of any health issue, I think you should still disclose it if it's communicable. Like people that have herpes, people that have herpes don't talk about it really often, and that's a big part of why herpes spreads so easily. Some people say, oh, herpes normal, everybody gets herpes. No, everybody does not get herpes. Everybody does not have herpes, and it is negligent to have it and not disclose it to somebody and give them the choice of whether or not they want to take that risk of being with you in that situation. Just because your doctor doesn't want to test for it because they're lazy doesn't mean you can't ask a different doctor. Princess says it's still technically illegal to have sex with HIV and not disclose. Wow, I didn't know that. It should be that way for any kind of communicable disease, in my opinion. Whether it's a bloodborne disease, something you can cough and somebody can get. If you're aware of it, you should be able to, you know, get over that stigma and tell somebody about it. Princess asks, would you be okay with HIV, with banging an HIV undetectable person? I don't know. That's something I'll really have to think about. Because I was okay with being in a relationship with somebody that had herpes, but I know exiting that relationship, because I had wanted to marry that person. Exiting that relationship, I felt really upset at myself because I didn't think that that was a smart move. That can, you know, that would be something that could have transferred to me and then messed my life up. So, I don't know. That's something I would have to think about. While I want to say, no, I wouldn't want to, especially since I'm ace and I really don't care about banging anybody in the first place. So why give myself extra problems? But I think I would have to think about that, consider the person, and just consider if my relationship with them was worth the, you know, the extra steps to make sure everybody's okay. Grilled. What I got was the Oscar Mayer natural ones and the regular ones for turkey hot dogs. And then Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce, but then I added my own honey. I recently found out, well, not too recently, but I recently found out that Sweet Baby Ray's, the company is not owned by the black guy anymore. I actually sold it. I was disappointed to hear that he sold the company. It's like, you know, nice for you and your pockets, but it made me worry about the integrity of the flavors and stuff. And between the last time I had it before, supposedly when they changed the ownership over, and sometime towards now, I think the taste really has changed a little bit. The same thing I heard about Stubbs, but I don't know if that's true or not. The Stubbs barbecue sauce. Princess asked, why did he sell it? I actually don't know. Let me see if I can look it up before the show comes back on. It's still showing commercials. This one's about smoking. Like, don't let kids smoke, and vaping's not cool. Whatever. Let's see, why did Sweet Baby Ray... Princess says vaping is not that bad. I vaped and I liked it. I agree. I don't think vaping is that bad at all. You just have to be well aware of... Since 1985. Let me see. So I'm on Sweet Baby Ray's website on their about us page. Let's see if their actual website says it. So when it comes to vaping, I think the only problem is you have to be aware of the technology you're using and making sure that you're not using it past the point of where it starts to degrade. So if somebody's just vaping like on an old like kit and you're just like using degraded coils that are just like burnt out and everything tastes like popcorn and you're giving yourself like an obvious lung issue, like duh, of course it's bad for you. So their website just talks about how they began in 1985 by Chef Larry, and he got his nickname Shootin' Hoops on the west side of Chicago on the day of a rib-off, which was a cook-off that they held called the Mike Royko Rib-Off. Chef Larry, he entered his sauce and beat nearly 700 entrants. An amazing feat for an unknown. The rest, they say, is history. Over the past 30 years, we've blah, 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 groceries and ballparks. Everybody loves Sweet Baby Ray's. Delicious, delicious. Okay, his website does not say who owns. I gotta get like a tripod for my phone. I usually have one. Capitalizing on early success at Mike Ryoko's Rib Fest in Chicago in 1982, Dave created Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, blah, blah, blah. Yo, Sweet Baby Ray, Ray's not a black man. Dave Raymond is a happy white guy. Look at this jolly boy. I wish I could turn my camera around. YouTube, you screwed me. He's so jolly. Why did everybody think Sweet Baby Ray was black? This is the happiest old white man I've ever seen. He looked like he loved barbecue sauce. Okay. So basic Google has conflicting information, and their website has conflicting information about when this barbecue sauce was released to the public. 85, 86, 82. Let me make sure I didn't miss the show coming back. Okay, the show's back. Let me shut up. Turn the volume back on.
As time went on,
okay, we're with Patrick, the girl whose name I don't know.
Unfortunately, I had a
Chara.
I couldn't really speak. I had to kind of learn how to be mobile again. And I think that's when I start seeing a decline in our sex life.
She went through a problem.
Shara started to kind of like wither.
My confidence was shattered. I mean, I didn't feel.
Here's a couple that's actually concerned about
I didn't feel like I was desirable.
intercourse in each other.
Really initiated everything.
I feel so bad for everybody that feels like sexuality is the epitome of intimacy, because they let having a quote-unquote sexless marriage ruin their lives and lead to divorce. That's the dumbest reason to divorce somebody, in my opinion. At no point do you have to bang somebody else so badly that if that's not happening, you need to ruin your marriage. Goodbye.
It's not a real marriage. Everybody says, "Oh, you guys don't. You guys weren't having sex."
Wow, they were being abused by their peers.
You really should leave your husband.
They told her to leave her husband because they weren't being physically intimate. That is so depressing. Whoever is in her circle needs to be slapped really fucking hard. That is disturbing. I can't stand that.
Possibly part ways, or have another partner.
Yo, what's going on?
All right, got a little spread going.
I met Noble.
Princess
at a
says
retreat.
people don't have good
He
folks
was
in
the
their
first
circles
person I saw.
nowadays.
And
Oh,
he asked,
that's
"Where are
really
you
true,
from?"
and I
I
hope that
said,
changes
"Atlanta." He
somehow.
said, "Oh, looks like I need to
I'm
go
not sure
there."
what society would need to do to make that happen,
I was
but I know
attracted
like
to Noble
just community
because
building in general could
he has
maybe
this
make some
boy
kind of
wonder
impact.
type of adventurous demeanor about
So her second
himself.
guy's named
Very
Noble.
carefree, lives by the
He's
seat of his
cute.
pants. Noble is a comic book creator, and I
He makes
found it
comic books.
interesting that
He
was
looks like he
involved in
loves
the
making
world
comic
of
books. He's got a
creating
bunch of nerdy
and writing
t-shirts.
stories.
These were just
He's got the old school nerdy glasses on, but now he's upgraded.
Heavy, and then next thing I know, I was moving into her and Patrick's house.
Shower happened
So they didn't
multiple
plan to be
times.
polyandrous
Actually,
outright?
helps both of us
Just
out.
kind of happened?
She gets to like explore and
Patrick
have all her
feels
needs
comfortable
met, and I get to
with
literally
Chara
work
and
at
Noble being
peace
together
and
because it
focus
helps
on business at hand.
it helps allow both of them just to get their needs
What's
met.
going on,
I love
Ollie?
that.
Oh, you're cute.
I
They're
do
so
have to constantly
sweet.
explain the difference between my lifestyle and being a swinger.
Oh, I would be so annoyed if somebody came to me and I had two polyandrous, nice, comfortable husbands, and somebody gonna ask me if I'm a swinger. I would be pissed off. Goodbye. Mm-mm.
Yes, thank you
I
for
would not
coming.
explain that more than once. I'd be like, "Do you see a pineapple outside of my front door?" No, get out my face. Get out my face.
Mesh together in a financial sense.
And in terms of doing chores, that more so fell on me.
At one point, I was doing things like, cutting grass or stuff like that around the house, but I didn't last.
This fool said he was cutting grass, babe.
Did a couple times. That's why you bought the lawnmower.
He told me he cut it, and it wasn't cut.
Yo, they're roasting Noble right now. They said, "Noble, you're bad at chores."
Watermelon there.
At night, I would sleep with Babe. Once he went to work, then Noble and I would meet up because Noble was downstairs.
Things really started to get awkward with Noble and Shara when I heard some noise in the basement. You know, a little moaning, a little groaning, a little yelling, a little screaming, a little, you know, do. So I was like, wait a minute, you know, just got real. I mean, basically, when the pandemic came, y'all was stuck in a house together.
I should have called a meeting.
That's interesting. So Patrick is saying that
that never happened.
part of them
Until I really check in and stuff.
really getting
I went through a whole
into
lot of different emotions.
the situation of
Upset,
being a
angry,
throuple
confused,
centered
jealous.
around them actually being stuck in the house
It
during the
became
pandemic and
intrusive,
really being in each
and
other's space the whole
I expressed
time.
that to Shara, she would not address it to him, and you know, it just became a silent problem.
Instead of addressing it, I just kind of got quiet and just.
You played the background role.
Eventually, the awkwardness got really uncomfortable
Mhm.
during this pandemic, and even though we have a great relationship, we decided that it would probably be best if he just moves out. I really didn't know.
What? They told
how
Noble to
handle
move
it. I
out.
mean, I'm trying to make sure that Babe's
So-
happy.
You played a part where
So things got uncomfortable for Patrick and Chara, and Chara couldn't really discuss it and communicate well enough to mediate between what about the situation made it uncomfortable for Patrick. So they suggested that she and Patrick suggested that Noble just move out.
I want to be good.
I love Noble, and I do want this relationship to work, but I don't know. Where do we go from here?
That's interesting. So their storyline so far in the show is not of finding an extra man. It's not of finding someone to date. It's not about picking a new house to move into. It's about strictly figuring out how to move forward in the relationship in general. That's really interesting. And commercials. If you didn't get snacks already, I suggest you take a moment to get some.
We're gonna take it back.
Because when you watch live TV that you didn't already record, you gotta watch the commercials. Oh, let's go back to figuring out if we can find who owns Sweet Baby Ray's. I still want to know. Okay. Larry Deuce Raymond, son of Chef Larry Raymond and nephew Dave Raymond, the creators of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Deuce was... Okay, this is a biography about the son. He looks like one of the characters from Mr. Meaty. Oh my god, do you remember Mr. Meaty? Mr. Meaty was this weird puppet show that came on Cartoon Network. It was like a weird sitcom. I'm 99% sure it was Cartoon Network. If it wasn't Cartoon Network, it was Nickelodeon. But this guy, Deuce Raymond, the director of Culinary at Sweet Baby Ray's, looks like the skinny one from Mr. Meaty. Are you ready? You can't tell me. You cannot tell me that that's not the skinny guy from Mr. Meaty. Let me pull up who I'm talking about. This is the guy, I swear to God. He looks like him. Yo, yo, yo. Oh my God. Okay, so Mr. Meaty was from Nickelodeon. It came out in 2006. The best year that has ever existed, in my personal opinion. If I could live any year over and over, I'd live in, oh God, in 2006. Okay, here's the guy. Why that year? Why 2006? 2006 had the best music, in my opinion. It had hilarious movies. Everybody's fashion was cute. 2006 was the epitome of just like quality fashion to me. The materials were good. You could get a cute vest as a girl. Military chic was in. Everybody was emo or scene. All the music was fun. Everybody just had like the right amount of technology. It was MySpace days. God, I love 2006. TV was like just eccentric. Like literally stuff like Mr. Meaty existed. Oh, here's another guy from Mr. Meaty. Let me pull his character up so you can see, because that guy, Deuce, kind of looks like him too. Deuce Raymond. Sweet Baby Ray's. He kind of looks like the manager from Mr. Meaty too. Princess says 2010 is her favorite year. It's the year that Lil Wayne released his rock album. That's what's up. I was a Lil Wayne hater for a while. I got to apologize because he looks like the first guy from Mr. Meaty. He looks like him. I'm not changing my answer. Final answer. Final answer. He's a Mr. Meaty character. If they ever bring the show back, I hope that I really pray he gets a role. That's hilarious. I don't know what I would do if I looked like a character from Mr. Meaty. I feel like I might try to like start wearing makeup or something that like not regular makeup, but like the kind you wear if you like are in a horror movie, like prosthetics. But Lil Wayne's rock album was cool. I like the whole era of rap rock crossover, like Party Like a Rock Star. That was fun. Let's see if I missed any messages. I'm on a money-making mission, but I party like a rock star. So, Princess says the show is back on. Mine did not come back on yet. I still have the commercial break. Okay, now I'm back. I must be like a minute behind you. We're back to Kim, Dustin, and Vincent. Dustin, I want to understand him. He's just suspicious to me.
My relationship with Vincent is still up in the air right now. I'm not really sure if he wants to be romantically involved with me and get the stick. But he and Dustin still love each other like brothers, so they're getting together to hang out today, kind of like old times.
I love brother husbands that get along.
Hey, boo.
Hi, you got the cornhole.
That would be my goal.
Set up here.
Cool.
What are you working on over there?
I'm gonna get these flowers.
I would want them to be
planted. Try to get
besties.
some of these leaves out of this bed. I think Vincent will be here in about an hour or so.
Okay.
Either besties or live in totally different
Feels
countries.
that Vincent is more monogamous than he really wants to admit right now. I don't know what's going to happen between the two of them, but the relationship I have with them is really important, and I hope we are able to maintain that no matter what the two of them are going through.
You know, when we have those feelings of insecurity come up, like feeling not enough, like you've dealt with that too, like how, you know, so maybe there's ways you can talk to him about how you deal with those sorts of feelings.
Well, I realize it's my responsibility for me to learn how to love myself. I can't expect you to make me happy all the time.
Yeah,
Dustin talks like he is an A+ graduate from every school of psychotherapy.
I was nervous, like maybe he's just being friends with me to spend time with Kim.
Princess asked, would you be okay with the husbands being in a relationship with each other? Yeah, I'd be okay with that. But I know I would get jelly if, like, I would definitely get jelly if they were out on dates and stuff, or like partying all the time and I wasn't invited. They were like, sorry girl, boys only. I'd be like, oh man, this sucks.
Get dinner going for Cohen probably in a second, and let you guys stay.
With how Kim and I are feeling about each other, and
Vincent is adorable.
we're not moving forward in a relationship.
He reminds me of every church boy.
I still feel very connected to Dustin. He's very much like a brother to me, so I'm excited to see him.
I'll let the guests go first here. It's kind of like pool. That's pretty good. So you get 1 point if it lands on the board, and 2 if it goes in the hole. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Home court advantage. When you own the game, you know. That's right. I'm glad we've reconnected here.
My hair is so big.
Man. Nice. Oh, man. Kim's, you know, shared a little bit of some of the things you guys have talked about and all that. And yeah. So, where are you at with Kim? I know it's going to be hard for you if she starts, you know, dating somebody else and, you know, kind of managing that. Is that like a hard stop for you?
It is, because I'm just not there.
Sure.
Like you are.
You know, you were
So,
really the first, you know, man.
it sounds
I
like
liked
Vincent does not live at the house with
Yeah.
Dustin and Kim.
Kind of that whole process of watching her get ready for the date and, you know, then leaving. And I noticed the state of mind that it would put me in. It was really, really hard, really uncomfortable. But
I need everybody to listen to Dustin right now.
I trusted her, so I had this safe space to work on all this.
It is awkward, you know, to share, like, this is what I went through, and you're going to experience this as well. Like, this is part of the lifestyle, is the uncomfortable part of, you know, sitting with our emotions and our abandonment and our jealousy.
The selflessness, the enlightenment, the self-awareness that Dustin has is lost on so many people, and I applaud him for it.
Look at my importance, my relevance in a relationship, and that's kind of hard when I see her with other people. It
Very absolutely deeply applaud him for it.
Do you ever feel like her giving her energy out to other people ever dilutes what you guys have sometimes?
The times, you know, she was with you in a way, it did help me become stronger and more solid in myself. That was a process, you know. At the time, I would quite often feel kind of wounded and neglected and left out of all the fun. All the cool kids were hanging out without me, kind of feeling. So it's not like I immediately became stronger. I mean, my insecurities, you know, still come up sometimes. But I feel
Dustin rocks, bro.
like I've turned the volume down on a lot of things I used to get really initially emotionally reactive on.
Dustin is handling the whole situation with Kim, wanting to bring in other people, a lot better than I am. And I think part of that is because they've had time to build.
I feel like any guy that's in this situation, whether they're a Dustin or a Vincent, like, you're both valid. Both of your feelings are valid.
Union with them.
I'm definitely Team Vincent. I think she's still wanting to experience a little bit more of life and to experience a little bit more of herself.
If I lose her, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
You're not gonna lose her, Vincent. She's not gonna ditch you. Oh, his anxiety. Relax. I need Vincent to take some deep breaths the same way I needed Gabe to take some deep breaths. On 90 Day the Other Way tonight. Alright, we're back to
Look who's back.
Elisa and Mike in LA.
Yeah.
Sounds soothing.
It is soothing. How was your day?
It's good. Worked out. Nothing crazy. How was your day? Sounded a little more eventful than mine.
Yeah. So I went on
Mike
that
always
date.
feels like a 39-year-old
Tell me
husband.
about it.
You know, sometimes you go on a first date and it's like great, and
just
other
like
times you go on a date and it's like
tired.
not so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
This
like,
was what, the not so great?
yeah, it was just like hard. But I don't know. I think maybe he was just like nervous or something because we laughed a lot, we joked about things a lot, but there still wasn't any like.
I don't like
connection
Elisa
or
making
chemistry
excuses
there
for
or
that guy.
anything, like deeper than that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
not nerves. He was
How
just
are
being
you feeling with like
a dude.
with like me like going out and going on hopefully better dates?
A
in the
dude coming
future?
from a totally different place than she is.
Yeah, there's a little bit of jealousy there. It's definitely gotten better.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not like I'm like hoping for you to have bad days and then go, oh, I really hope this one sucks for Lisa.
Yeah, I hope
Like,
you're
I'm
not
not-
hoping for a
Nah,
failure.
I'm not,
I don't really feel angry or jealous or anything like that right now. You know, this is just part of the process of what we chose to do. I guess I'm almost as happy too because you know it's the next step in the process for her and for us, and we're ready for it. So,
Mike.
yeah,
Yes.
So then I was like, oh, okay,
Beautiful.
so I'm married, but I'm looking for multiple relationships. And he was like, oh, okay, like you want to have sex with people. And I was like,
Yeah.
no.
That's what most people say.
I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah.
He's like, I just have sex with a couple different women, and
Yeah.
I probably paint them nude, and that's about it. And I should have been like, do you ever go on dates?
Yeah.
Do you ever like, are you like committed to any of these women in any kind of way?
Of course
other
he's
than
not committed to those
sex?
women in
Yeah.
any kind of
Sounds
way.
like he just kind of wants to like.
There's a
live
big
this
difference
more, like,
between
free, open lifestyle,
there's a
but
big
not
difference
really
between
anything.
an
It's
open
kind of like
relationship,
the benefits thing.
swingers,
Yeah, which is fine.
fetishists, and polyandrous people.
The goal is not
Big
having
difference.
benefits. But
Like
that could
Elisa
happen.
just said, she's not looking for friends with
I'm
benefits.
not 100% sure how I feel about that.
Well,
The whole reason we did this, you know, was to just have, you know, deeper, more intimate connection.
totally.
But so like a friends with benefits situation isn't quite like that.
So they're
It's not like why
pondering
we kind of know all this.
just
It's not
briefly
like
in
our
this
old people,
conversation
So I don't
how
know,
Mike would
I'm
feel about her
pretty
being in the
uncertain
friends with
of that.
benefits situation. He said
Friends
he's
with
not really here
benefits,
for that.
More focused on the sex instead of like.
And I can dig it. I wouldn't want that for my wife either if I was in a polyandrous relationship.
So that's not really what we
I wouldn't want my wife to have a
More
friends
like
with
on the
benefits. I would want her to have somebody reliable.
Mike's just not fully getting.
I'd
what
be
I'm
worried
trying to
she'd
say
be
right
getting
now.
used.
And it is
No way.
concerning.
I
Having
wouldn't allow
multiple
that if I
partners,
were
that kind of
if I were
lifestyle
somebody's
just doesn't
husband.
work if we can't be on the same
Personally.
page.
Harmony says polyandry is so complicated. I can dig it.
I just can't
I think it's
see
complicated too, but I don't think it's
moving
not worth it. I
spaces,
think it is worth
maybe
it.
going to another room, that sort of thing. I can't see doing that if she's not willing to meet me halfway with this ceremony. Right.
Oh, coming up after the break. Carl and Tiger are going to talk about how Tiger really wants this wedding, regardless of whether or not his parents show up. And, you know, I think Kenya should have the ceremony with him. I would be surprised if she ends up saying absolutely not, just because her idea of what a wedding provides is different than what the idea of it is for Tiger. It sounds to me that Tiger comes from a slightly different culture than what she comes from, and that's okay. I really hope she does meet him halfway and they do get to have the wedding ceremony. There's a JLo underwear commercial on, and that bra is cute. One thing that I don't like is the move for underwear to be outerwear. It has happened so many times in history, and I know it's going to keep happening in my complaint. It's just a complaint. I'm not stopping anybody. Like slip dresses in the 90s, or when bathrobes, like what our modern idea of what a kimono is, and like a lot of places, it's just a bathrobe. Or bathrobes from the Victorian era being worn as dresses in the 1920s and 30s. Or like slip dresses being worn as an outer garment dress. It's like, whatever. I don't like it. I'm only minimally butthurt about it. This is just a minimal complaint, but I don't know. I don't like it. But I'm not saying those outfits aren't cute at the same time. If you like to wear it and you're gonna wear it, props. But I'm not gonna tell somebody's kid to put one on just because they turned 18. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, definitely wear that underwear outfit. I'm gonna be like, don't you want to wear this instead? Oh, another vaping commercial. The worst thing Trump ever did before he left office was the vape mail ban. And then Biden got blamed for it because he double endorsed it. I was like, both of y'all suck. Princess says that reminds me of the lingerie outerwear stuff. That's exactly what I'm saying. The era, oh my god, speaking of Degrassi earlier, that just reminded me. The era of life when Degrassi was on TV and people started letting the color of their bra peek, or the top of their bra cups peek over their shirt, that blew my mind. I was like, this is the sluttiest thing I've ever seen, but it's also the coolest thing I've ever seen, so I'm gonna just say it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was like, everybody that does this is an absolute badass, and no one can stop them. I hope everybody that wore that kind of clothes is just thriving. The show's back on. They're in Houston, Texas. They're back with Kenya, Carl, and Tiger. Princess asked if I did that. I did once in a while. Pick a colorful bra with a full lace shirt. And I thought that looked cool. But otherwise, I didn't. I never did the thing where your bra peeks out at the top. But gothic lace shirt in a different color bra, or a cool black bra, I did do that before. I usually put a leather jacket over top anyway, though, just for modesty.
And I really want Kenya to commit in ceremony to
I was as cool as I could get.
She's been real hesitant. So I've invited Carl out to the driving range today to really kind of give me the additional advice to get Kenya over the hump.
I love golf.
So I wanted to touch base with you on kind of where we're at with the wedding.
The boys went out to the driving range to talk about the wedding.
Kind of on the fence about it. Okay. I tried talking to her, trying to convince her, and she's just not really wanting to budge.
Yeah, I saw she's having some resistance.
Yeah, Carl and I are definitely friends. We learn from each other, and I've learned more from Carl than I probably have any other man on this planet. She's stuck on the idea of my parents being there.
So,
like that almost feels like it's a deal breaker.
On this show,
Mom is very close.
all of the brother husbands are friends or friendly, but they're not ultra super duper close.
Married, you stay together for life.
While I would like, if I had brother husbands,
would you even,
for them to be ultra super duper close,
no.
It seems likely that it would end up like this.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes me upset or
She
not.
didn't even know what I was going to say. Mom just cut me off. It's a really hard feeling to digest
Mango.
that my
Mango
mom wouldn't
smoothie.
want to be a part of my life in this way.
You know, we've experienced that. Oftentimes, I'm able to relate to Tiger, what he's going through or what he's saying that he's having a challenge with. Like, because I've been there before myself. When we first started, man, our parents hated it. They gave us a hard time. They didn't accept the lifestyle that we lived at all. And it was only after time when they kind of came on board and were more accepting. Kenya wants to connect with not just her partner or her husband, but their entire family. I totally understand how she feels. I mean, she's always been consistent with family. She loves my parents. I love her parents.
I would feel the same way if I was in this situation, like how Kenya feels. If you're
I
marrying
would like to
somebody,
see
you
her
should
have
have
a
a
bit more
relationship with their
understanding
family.
for you and the
I feel so
situation,
bad for the
and still be
situation.
committed to doing the commitment ceremony either way. Because to me, the most important thing is that you all actually do the ceremony, because it's really about you and
I
Kenya.
need some water,
You know what I'm
dude.
saying? And you guys committing to be together for life. And I'm a full supporter of that.
I just can't see moving, any spaces, because she brought that up,
No.
transitioning,
All right, I'll get
say
some on
going
the
to
next
another
commercial.
room, that sort of thing. I can't see doing that if she's not willing to meet me halfway with this ceremony.
Right. I know more about Kenya than most people, so I think it's the right thing for Tiger to confide in me. Plus, we trust each other. So it's better that he comes to me first, because I understand our dynamic. A lot of folks outside of our family unit don't understand what we're doing. I can talk to Kenya too and just make sure she understands that you're trying your best to get your parents to buy in and that you're sincere in that effort.
I'm glad Carl's gonna step in to help.
But things could go south. I would like to.
I hope things don't go south.
Me knowing who you are and how you move. Like a single person.
Ooh. Chara does not want him to move back in. Is this a commercial though? Yes. Yes. A commercial break. Now I can go get that water I need. As it's another commercial, if you need something, go get it too, just like me. Oh, I'm trapped. I'm trapped behind this chair that I'm using for a table. Because I didn't feel like building another table. Princess says I couldn't handle polyandry, so many moving parts. Yeah, I can dig it. Okay, sauce covered hand. It's now lemon. Off to the water from a bag of water. So, the latex spill of the acrylic derived latex, non-natural latex, whatever the heck, that spilled in the water in Bucks County into the Delaware River, again, is still touted as supposedly being not affecting anyone. I absolutely don't trust that. So while I am not in any way trying to cause alarm, I do believe people should stay well prepared with extra stock inside their houses. Why not trust it? Philadelphia's water has been problematic for so long that any amount of additional contaminant, I feel like you shouldn't play games and risk yourself, especially with the way our local and state level and federal level government handles chemical spills. They're not going to disclose everything to you. They're going to hide it, cover it up. In 30 years time, when you get the Camp Lejeune call, were you in Philadelphia 30 years ago and now you have a child with birth defects, call Krasno and Krasno to get a fucking join the class action lawsuit. I'd rather just be fine. She said, yeah, Princess says they really did the people in Ohio dirty. They absolutely did. And I found out about that spill not from American news, not from a warning. I found out about it from a joke account on TikTok that does that guy that does like, oh, he puts his face, his mouth, and his eyes over the picture of a country's flag, and he's like, oh, country, what happened with you today? That brown guy. I found out from a foreigner on TikTok. That's not cool. An issue that is like a mini Chernobyl here in America, and it was covered up for months and months before anybody really started talking about it. It's not cool, man. Not cool at all. And the amount of things that are happening like that here in the United States is really, really unsettling. And it just makes me feel like Americans are not American anymore. They don't care about what's happening with their neighbors. They don't care about what's happening with their self. They don't care about what's happening with their land. They probably don't own the air rights above their home. They probably don't own the water rights below their property because they sold it to some schmuck and some dumb major corporation instead of caring about themselves, the environment, and their community. I'm tired of it, man. I need Americans to become more American again because stuff like this happening shouldn't go unsettled. There should be so many organizations built up fixing this problem. I'm concerned this is going to be one of those situations where the ground just stays dirty forever. Like, for example, rice made in America, like grown in America, often has arsenic in it because the fields that we're growing it on were old cotton fields. And for some reason they use like arsenic to like do something. I don't remember what the something was anymore. I'm so sorry. I wish I remembered. But that arsenic is still in the ground because I remember somebody told me it lasts 9,000 years. I don't think it lasts actually 9,000 years to stay in the soil. But regardless, yes, princess, arsenic is poisonous. And it's not good for you in low quantities or high quantities. The show's back on. Chara and Noble, they're out at like a coffee house.
Now that he's officially moved out, Noble and our relationship
This gives me Washington, D.C. vibes. Oh, they're at a poke bowl place. Poke bowls are so tasty. It's like sushi over rice without the nori.
With Shara and I, there is a real genuine love and care connection there. And I really kind of want to get that back. How's things with Patrick?
Well, it's good. You know, he's always busy.
So, I feel like we're not really where we want to be. And I feel like, you know, I want to be more involved. Like, I feel like, you know, things were like going well between us.
The juice she's drinking looks really
We're
good.
having like a real loving connection, you know what I'm saying? And I think we're kind of going apart a little bit. I see you in my life long term, and I would like for us to have a healthier, functioning relationship. That's not just like a friendship. How do you feel about it? Like, that's something that you think we could like work on? Or how
So it seems like Chara and Noble's relationship is more like friends with benefits.
That you were just more of a fling type of guy, not a ring type of guy.
Ooh.
Well, you know, that's not what I was looking for. You know,
She and her husband said, Noble, you are not the real deal. We're not
that's
interested.
gonna be able to be there at night.
Okay. I can do that.
They said you move like a single guy. You got
I would
problems,
like
son.
to move back in.
He's asking to move back into the household.
It was during the pandemic. Everything there happened. It kind of snowballed to where it wasn't really optimal. If I were to move back in, we could pull our resources together and help each other. How I can like help.
He's saying he could really be a husband for her and actually be helpful around the house.
Me knowing who you are,
Look,
how you move, it's just
I don't think either of them believe that this is going to work very well.
like a single person. You move,
Chara is
you
trying to
don't
be so
move
sweet to him.
like a person that's truly in a partnership. It is really hilarious at this point that, you know, Noble says he wants to be in a relationship.
She said it's hilarious that Noble says he wants to be in a relationship.
That I would expect from a partner.
He doesn't have enough commitment.
It's not that Noble's all bad.
She's letting him go. She's letting him go. She said, I have love for you.
How we're supposed to move forward.
How long?
That's going to be their last lunch
To
date.
sit down and finally have this conversation with you about why Lisa decided to date other partners.
I do have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Pillow Talk, but I'm not going to stream it.
Really want my mom to be at this ceremony, and unfortunately, my mom said she is not.
I can't believe the episode's over already. It's so short.
Why wouldn't they accept me? So what are we gonna do?
Really makes me just want to scream.
Oh, the foreshadowing says that
You wear white every day?
Well, I did that just to impress you.
It is difficult to see her.
the foreshadowing shows that Kenya and Tiger are not about to have a good time. His parents.
I think I've reached that point in my life where
I really want to have a baby.
For who?
I wouldn't really want to be a candidate.
Ever since I decided that I want to have a baby, it is definitely time for me to look for a new partner.
Wow. Good luck, Chara. She needs help. Because Noble, she says she wants to have a baby. Noble is not the one for that at all. He's not trustworthy enough. And then her husband, I can't think of his name. Is it Patrick? Tell me if it's Patrick, and if it's not Patrick, I'm sorry. But I'm going to call him Patrick. And then her husband, Patrick, is just like, I don't think, because of probably his health issues, that he doesn't want to be the person to father the child. But that sucks. I hope she gets everything she wants. That was a fun episode, but that was way too short. If I felt like holding my camera, I would have. Oh my god, pillow talk. Look who's here. Oh my god, the two brothers. Okay, the Boston, the masshole brother, Patrick, whose name is Patrick. I know him. Patrick, the one that's the husband of the Brazilian girl. Wow, I need to watch this episode. Okay, buenas noches. Good night, everybody. Speaking of buenas noches, let me tell you one thing before I go. Let me show you my new book. I got the coolest book. Azrael, better known as Hijo de la Santa Muerte, wrote a book. It's in Spanish. And you flip it over, and English. I'm so excited. I read through a little bit of it. He even signed it. I was like, oh my god. He even signed it. I'll spend some time reading from this someday. It has like offerings, daily prayers, blessings you can do for your home, for yourself, for your business, and just some like cultural history stuff. It's really cool. All right, nighty night. I hope you all have fun. If you ate your dinner, get some ice cream, make a milkshake. Bye.
It definitely does that. It puts things into perspective.